What's up guys, my name is Ace and welcome back to The Breakdown, the series where I analyze gameplay to help you improve. In today's episode, we're going to be analyzing a Domination gameplay on Solar from Whitebeard84. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so let's start it off by having a look at the class that he decided to use. So he's got the AK-12 with Suppressor and Quick Draw, which is actually a really good choice. I feel the AK-12 is a little bit underrated and underused. It's one of my favorite assault rifles to use just because it's so accurate and it has a pretty good 4-shot kill range. The big downside though is it doesn't have a 3-shot kill range like the BAL and the HBRA. So it does have a disadvantage up close, but at longer ranges it's very accurate and it's an awesome gun, and these are pretty good attachments. Now for a secondary, he's using the RW1 with advanced rifling. This is a personal preference, but I personally don't feel like secondaries are all that useful. And I'm pretty sure, I skimmed over this gameplay really quick, I'm pretty sure you didn't use this RW1 once. So basically you're just wasting 2 points that could have been spent elsewhere on this class. Sure, it might help you in some very specific situations, but you have to really think to yourself when you're creating these classes, how useful is that going to be? I feel like those 2 points could have been spent better elsewhere. As for perks, we have lightweight, peripherals, blast suppressor, as well as toughness, and these are all great perks. No problems there. With the exo launcher, we're using a Semtex, which is also good. I really enjoy using the Semtex because I find it's actually pretty easy to stick people in this game. And then even if you don't, you still have the chance of damaging or even killing an enemy. And as for score streaks, we have the UAV with support, and then we have the orbital care package. And these are great, especially if you're not really confident in earning the higher end streaks. And this is pre-patch gameplay, by the way. So this is before it was 100 points per kill or 100 score per kill in Domination. So streaks were very difficult to get in Domination back when he was playing this. So not a bad choice for streaks at all. Alright guys, so let's get right into the gameplay here. Right here, you'll notice he joined the game just a little bit late, but he basically just missed the opening rush route. And now he's pushing over towards the B flag area with some of his teammates. He doesn't have very many teammates pushing up, and this is kind of a big issue throughout the whole game, is his teammates don't really seem to be trying to play the objective, but then again, he doesn't either. Now right here is something I don't really like. I like how he was kind of waiting for map control at the B flag to begin with, but now he's pushing all alone into the enemy spawn, and he has no map control. His teammates are way back in their spawn, and he's pushing in all alone. When you do this, it's only a matter of time before you get killed. Sure, you might get a couple kills, but it's only a matter of time before you die, and you aren't really doing anything to help win the game. Right now is when he should be trying to cap flags. You want that map control. When you have map control, that's when you start slaying, you go for kills once you have the map control, and his team does not have map control. So again, we see him pushing towards the enemy spawn. He pushes up to where the B flag is here, and now would be a great time to start killing enemies that are near the B flag and encouraging his teammates to push up and try and capture that B flag. And then maybe he himself could actually jump on the B flag. Instead, he's pushing on the outskirts of the map where there's no real objective significance. Any kills that he gets over here doesn't really mean anything to help him win the game. He's just pushing in, and it seems like he's kind of selfishly going for kills. And I hate to say this, I'm not trying to hate on you with this gameplay, I'm just trying to help you improve. And what you're doing right here, I feel isn't ideal. You are pushing into the enemy spawn with no map control. You're being a little bit selfish as far as going for kills, and you have no interest in playing the objective. You haven't even tried to touch a flag at this point, and you guys are losing. You're obviously going to lose the game if you and your teammates are going to continue playing like this. So I know that might sound really negative up until this point, but that's just because I see some potential in you with your gunfights and everything. A lot of the face-to-face gunfights that you find yourself in, you seem to be winning. You're reacting quite quickly, you have great accuracy, and you're using techniques like drop-shotting and strafing to your advantage in a gunfight. So you have that gun skill, or you have a nice base of gun skill, you're just not using it in the right places on the map at the right time. You're kind of going for kills on the outskirts rather than going for kills that matter. Okay, so skipping ahead a little bit, this is where you are doing something right. You're pushing towards the B flag, and you're looking for kills that are near the B flag. These are the kills you want to be looking for. But a little bit of an awareness fail here. An enemy fired an unsilenced weapon directly behind you. I'm watching this from a laptop, and I could hear that somebody was firing behind you. and it was also popping up on your minimap. You had plenty of time to react, but you just seemed distracted, or you just didn't quite pick up on it in time, which is unfortunate, but a lot of that just comes with practice. So skipping ahead a little bit again, this is something that I've mentioned several times in the breakdown for Ghosts, but I will mention it again because this is a very common problem that I see with a lot of people's gameplay, is keep your crosshairs where you expect enemies to be. Look at where your crosshairs are right now. What's going to happen if an enemy comes around the corner at the top of those stairs, which is quite likely at this point? It's not likely that an enemy is suddenly going to appear on those stairs in front of you where you're aiming. It's more likely they're going to be coming around that corner where that van is. So that's where your crosshairs should be. Instead, you have them down low, and it took you far too long to react and adjust your aim to try and challenge the enemy that did come around the corner. So keep your sights up and always be ready for a gunfight. Now, I know I'm jumping around this gameplay a lot, but I basically just want to skip to all the good parts, the parts that are worth mentioning. And coming up right here, it's getting near the end of the round right now. But this is something that I really like. This is where your positioning is great. You're near the B flag, and you're actually getting kills that are near and on the B flag. But you didn't really take advantage of these kills. Once you get kills, you've earned map control. You now control that part of the map. You've killed those two players. They're now having to spawn way at their spawn, and they have to come all the way back to get back in the fight. So instead of pushing up for map control, you just sort of let them spawn back in and push back up and have the same map control they had. Now, I know there might not have been a greatest example because it was near the end of the round, and it's probably not worth it to just hop on the B flag right at the end of the round there. He probably wouldn't have even had time to capture it. But I just wanted to use that as an example. That's something that you should have been working towards all games. Push up to the B flag, get kills on and around the B flag, and then try and capture the B flag once you get that map control. Instead, it seemed like you were just playing this to get kills, and that's not what you should be playing Domination for. If you're playing for kills, go play Team Deathmatch. Alright, so getting into the second round here, this is a little bit into the second round. He earned a sentry turret with a rippable rocket on it, and got a few kills with that. That was good. There wasn't really much to say about that. He earned it in the care package and everything, and that was great. But here again is a really familiar situation. You push up towards the B flag, you get a kill, and then you back off. So you gain that map control, and then you just give it up again. And here you go again. You push up, you get your kill, gain that map control, and you just push back to your home flag. This is not what wins you games, but I know I've said this way too many times. Now I want to just sort of explain in general what I would rather see you do to improve, and what you could do to improve, and how I feel like you could get so much better at Domination. Because like I said earlier, you have that gun skill. You have great gun skill, and I feel like you're not utilizing that gun skill to the best of your ability. You could be a really successful rusher. You could be pushing for map control. You could be holding map control. You could be the one pinning your enemies in their spawn, rather than being the one that is constantly letting the enemies pin you in your spawn. You have the potential and you have the skill for that. But it seems like you just aren't quite taking advantage of it. So if there's any advice I could give you from watching this gameplay, that is, be aggressive, be as aggressive as you can possibly be. You might die a little bit more, but it's also very likely you're going to get a lot more kills, a lot more captures, and a lot more score streaks out of it. So don't worry about your kill-death ratio, especially in Domination. In Team Deathmatch, sure, play a little bit more defensively if you have to. But in Domination, you have the skill to rush, and you can earn far more kills and far better streaks. So that's going to wrap it up for today's episode of The Breakdown. Now, I know this one was a little bit different than my previous episodes. Normally, I go kind of like frame by frame, and I analyze each situation very specifically. This was definitely more general, and I feel like I kind of want to mix things up with that every once in a while, so not every episode is going to be quite so general, and I want to also get into the specifics sometimes, but every once in a while, I want to do a more general one like this, because a lot of that metagame is also very important to people improving at the game. So, if you'd like me to analyze one of your gameplays, keep in mind I'm looking for sort of average to maybe a little bit below average gameplay where there's mistakes that are made, then please feel free to send me a link to an unlisted YouTube video to my email address, which I will leave in the description of this video, and I just might analyze it in a future episode. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.